Okay, so I might have found myself the worst Backrooms adaptation to ever come out of Hollywood. So with the booming success of Kane Parsons' Backrooms, that I would say is very, very good, I had the idea of looking for if Backrooms had other adaptations in Hollywood before, and to my success, someone on YouTube brought to light this fucking wacky episode in a TV series called American Horror Stories, and it's my first time hearing about this shit, by the way. So on their season 3, there is an episode called Backrooms, and it might just be the worst adaptation ever. So I'm on my early days here of making content. I'm still on Winnie Hot Jr. mode. This might be the start of me watching and torturing myself by actually consuming these pile of dog shit horror shows. Maybe, just for the fun of it. It's definitely a waste of time if you take it seriously, but luckily I didn't. So, the main premise of this episode is there's the screenwriter, which is played by Michael Imperioli, and he's a famous one. It's in Hollywood, and he is grieving over the loss of his child, his son, who has been missing for like 3 years now, as mentioned in the episode. And by the way, Michael Imperioli, I loved Sopranos, and we all know him. He is Tony Soprano's cousin. And Christopher Moltisanti, I quote, is the only motherfucker who can smoke a cigarette in the rain with his hands tied behind his back because his nose is like a natural canopy. Fuck you, Richie April. Anyway, I actually like this actor, and he's a decent actor at best. I was really curious, and this might be one of the reasons why I decided to push myself to watch this fucking stupid ass episode here. So the episode starts, a friend comes over and talks to him that he's been going out of his way to hide from his friends now. He cuts off all contacts and decides to be alone to grieve for his late son. And all of a sudden he got transported to the fucking back rooms here, like he just gets teleported. Fucking instant transmission over here. It's just very wacky. Anyway, I won't bore you with the details here. I'll just give you the nitty bits of it so you can understand how bad this episode was. And so he gets transported into this back rooms. Like he starts off in a liminal space in the middle of a supermarket, and then all of a sudden he manages to get back to his house. He manages to get back to his house in the blink of an eye. So it's already completely different from the latest adaptation of Backrooms, where it's actually connected to, walls, specific areas where there's an entry point. In this version of the Backrooms, you just get transported there, like it's all in your fucking head. And by the way, it's not all in his head, it's actually true. Because later in the story, there is another victim who manages to record the whole fucking thing. So they try to emulate the found footage that got famous back in the day. I'm pretty sure Kane Parsons started that whole thing too. And by the way, I didn't do my research before starting this shit because it's my first time hearing this TV show, so I didn't even know if it was episodic. I just took a gamble that maybe this whole TV show is just one of those each episode self-contained type of TV show, and to my luck, I was right. So with that explanation out of the way, before he gets back, there's something wacky that happened in the liminal space supermarket. So he actually finds his son with a cult mask, and a dude in a robe, someone who looks like a cultist, is holding the kid's hand. So we already know where this is going. The idea of Backrooms here is just fucking ass. The concept of Backrooms is actually amazing because of the paranoia, the dread that it instills on the viewer, the watcher, you. Because, even the Kane Parsons movie that I watched a week ago, it started as him just exploring it. It's very creepy. He doesn't know the existence of the entity there yet. He doesn't even know there are other people in there. But here, no. You get fucking transported, and then a fucking stupid looking cultist looks you in the fucking eye, ready to butt fuck you or something. So when he gets back to Earth or whatever, he says it's been 3 weeks already since he was gone. His friends contacted him. He says he's been missing again. And then he goes to this restaurant and he finds his ex-wife, from what I understand, and he thought it was an intervention, and then he gets the news that his child, his son, was already found and he's dead. So he's been stricken with grief. And then he walks out of the restaurant after saying something really fucking wacky. He says, and I quote, that we human beings made hell. We manifested hell. He just says that for some reason. So he gets transported to the fucking back rooms, and he already knows what it is. It wasn't even directly stated that, or explicitly shown in this episode, if he was possessed there for a second or something, because he looks his friend and his ex-wife dead in the eye, and then he says that us human beings manifested hell. I don't even know what the fuck that was. It's probably from his own mouth too, so let's just assume he already knows what the Backrooms is already, just from coming there for one time. So when he gets out of the restaurant, he gets transported back to Backrooms again. And this time he's in the very famous office complex that's very yellow. But this time, this adaptation is actually shown to be a dim dark yellow because the lights look fucking ass. I don't know, something about this adaptation of the Backrooms office space just pisses me off. Maybe it's the wallpaper. The wallpaper has this very distracting pattern to it compared to the standard yellow Backrooms that we all know and love. And then he walks into this room where there's a lot of cultist masks on the ground. And then he finds like an Oscar with his name on it. And then all of a sudden the masks on the ground with the cultists, suddenly the cultists start coming from the ground and start chasing him. I fucking can't, man. This shit is so ass. This shit is so buns. This shit did not cook well. So you already know where this is going, and the concept of the Backrooms here is basically just hell. So he finds an online footage of it, again, what I mentioned earlier from the intro, and he manages to get contact with the guy. This guy's in prison, by the way. For some fucking reason, he sends an email, and the guy receives it. So the next scene jumps into this meet where he talks to the guy in prison, and the guy, oh my fucking god, the guy is just, fuck. So, this is the exact scene that made me want to do a quick research on this fucking episode, who wrote it, because we all know this hate boner the old people have against gamers. I fucking remember this whole thing from the back of my mind. Anyway, the guy in prison who he meets is, okay, imagine the average Reddit mod. Did you imagine it? Then look at this guy. He's the exact fucking depiction of a Reddit mod. He's a fucking caricature of one. So he explains the Backrooms like it's a video game thing, and he's a professional coder, and he has this very distracting lisp. I don't know if the actor has a lisp, or maybe he was instructed to do that. It's like, they made this character to be a very bad depiction of a gamer, a Reddit mod, something. The guy has a lisp, he codes, he explains things in video game terms, and he acts this very snarky, quirky Reddit mod attitude. Something about him, he even looks like a Reddit mod with his receding hairline. Oh fucking god. Anyway, I did a research after that, and I realized I was right. So, the screenwriter for this fucking episode is a guy named John Robin Bates. He was born in 1961, and I was fucking right. He's 64 years old. He's one of those old people who just hate gamers for the fucking love of it. So this is another one of the reasons I wanted to talk about it. So basically, this Backrooms is what would happen if the Backrooms of today, the movie, was written by someone, your average old boomer writer in Hollywood, instead of the Gen Z writer who fucking nailed it, that made a very good movie today. So if that happens, you get this fucking steaming pile of dog shit. Anyway, this rant is going on for too long now. Let me go ahead and wrap this up. So, the Reddit mod guy explains to our protagonist here that Backrooms is actually the middle ground of Earth and something next to it, he says. So, they're implying hell. So, Backrooms is basically purgatory in this version of it. And he gets transported, the guy who filmed the Backrooms, Reddit mod guy, he got transported to the Backrooms because he lied to the cops when he ran over a woman. So he ran over a woman and he lied to the cops and said that it was her fault that he suddenly just jumped in front of the car, and then after that he gets transported to the back rooms. So basically this is implying that our protagonist here is actually hiding something. He's actually an evil individual. Real. So yeah, basically they made Backrooms into this fucking stupid urban legend you tell your kids so that they don't lie, you know? It's just a scary story. If you lie, you go to hell, the Backrooms, and the fucking cultists will touch you. Something like that. That is basically the Backrooms here. So the finale of the episode goes, and he goes back to Earth and he gets contacted and the cops are already on the way. So he keeps saying that he didn't do it, he didn't kill the child. Yeah, so the reveal was he actually killed his son. Very effective. No, I'm just fucking with you here. There's no point in sarcasm anymore. Yeah, it just doesn't work. There wasn't even enough screen time for this guy to flesh out and drop hints that he was actually a bad guy all along. So the plot twist just doesn't fucking work. It's just a bad story overall. So anyway, I just want to end the video here. This is just such a fucking ass TV show episode about the Backrooms. Might be the worst adaptation yet, and I'm glad that we instead got the Kane Parsons version, which is made by a really good writer. For his age, he's only 20 years old. Yeah, I did the meme. Instead of this guy, this 64-year-old stupid-ass writer who definitely should retire by now. Come on, man. I just want to end the video here. Oh my god, this fucking episode is going to live rent-free in my head since starting now.